We accept benefits, paychecks, some help. Sometimes I can't support myself. We accept benefits, paychecks, some help. Sometimes I can't support myself. Looking for something to eat, huh? Shorty just ran out of EBT, huh? She thought I was gonna pay the fee, huh? But I told her that money don't grow on trees, huh? See, if I had to spend, I wouldn't calm down. I'm the type of guy that don't have funds now. Stomach growling OD, huh? Turn $7 into Mickey D's, huh? Bernie Sanders wanna pray for me too. Told him save your prayers, I'ma need food. Even if I did happen to eat food, what I'ma eat, dude? We accept benefits, paychecks, some help. Sometimes I can't support myself. We accept benefits, paychecks, some help. Sometimes I can't support myself.
No!
This is the Bronx Project Podcast. I am your host, Mirez.
And I'm your host, Earl Grey.
And this is the week of January. It was January 17th.
Yep.
As always, we record on the Sundays.
It's Father's Day weekend.
Shout out to all the fathers who didn't leave their kids abandoned.
Yep. Shout out to all the fathers who are actually fathers, especially for Father's Day.
But to get out of the sad shit, we jump in and out of sad shit.
That's not sad. It's not sad.
Yeah, because my father abandoned me, so it's sad for me.
No,
no, he didn't.
Too bad.
Sucks for you.
Don't cry, please.
You were like,
don't cry on this podcast.
Josh was like, yo, I might have to record a little late. I might meet up with my dad. And then he was like, wait, no, I'm not meeting up with my dad. We good.
Yeah.
So you're on the same boat as me.
Yeah.
Your dad abandoned you today.
My dad abandoned me today, but I could have definitely drove up to Connecticut to see him.
Yeah, but it's podcast Sundays.
Yeah, it's podcast Sundays, so I'm not totally with it. Anyways, he told me not to.
Shout out to Richie.
Yeah, shout out to Dad.
But this week's BOTW.
Oh, yeah.
Beer of the Week.
That's right. We start the shit early now, guys. Woohoo!
We skipping the shit. This week's beer of the week is Beck's.
Beck's.
It's a
German beer.
It's a German beer?
German beer.
You know, it's weird. I've seen this beer my whole life. Never tried it.
Same, actually. I think I've only tried the light version of it.
I tried this
shit.
That
was years ago.
Yeah, I remember. I think we bought a whole bunch of light beer to see how it would taste. Not very good. I hear this beer obviously all the time from the Bodega Boys podcast.
Really?
Yeah, Miro, he's Mr. Beck's on Deckington.
Oh,
yeah.
He likes Beck's.
I don't even know if he does. That might just be a name.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense.
It's it's alright.
We're not even rating it yet.
We're not even rating it yet. But to get to the rating,
woo.
I don't even know if I want to do it anymore.
Do it. Come on. Stop listening to criticism. Like, that's your thing. We've been doing it for a long time. Don't change what isn't broken, Dalia.
It's broken.
It ain't broken.
It's broken
it
now.
Ain't broken unless there's a broken bottle of beer. And we're about to get to that.
Well, my phone fell. You're gonna have to edit that. To start off this week's beer rating system, not the B rating system, we'll start off with the broken bottle beer. And what's a broken bottle beer, you ask? Well, it's what the name implies. It's a broken bottle. It's a bottle that you open it, it broke.
Yeah, that happened to me yesterday, actually. Yesterday was Saturday. We had a Father's Day barbecue. And me trying to open beer the fancy way, there wasn't a beer bottle opener at all. So I walked around and I didn't have a lighter on me either to do the Dominican way. So what I did was started to smash it against tables, but no table had really a sharp edge on it. all the tables were like rounded edges, and it was bad. Anyways, I broke my beer.
Did you drink it?
Oh yeah, I did.
Really?
Yeah, I cleaned it off and I put it in the cup and I drank it.
Did you sift it?
No.
How could you get on this podcast and tell people not to drink broken bottle beers?
It's a beer. I'm gonna drink it, but it hurt. I'm pretty sure that I don't know. I had a bad night anyway. I couldn't even sleep, so that probably added on to that.
Despite what Josh said, the broken bottle beer is at the bottom of our rating system, and it's a shattered beer. It's a beer you don't want to drink. It's the teethy blowjob of beer, as we've described it. You know when you get your dick sucked, and she just keep using the teeth. They on the head.
It's either that or a glove job, which we've discussed on the last podcast, which is getting jerked off by a lady or a man,
whatever your preference is,
yeah, or yourself,
or a lady and a man. Honestly,
at the same time,
get wild.
Yeah, that's true. With a glove, but no lube.
You gotta have like a big enough dick, cause if they're both stroking your dick at the same time, or are they both chewing on your dick at the same time? Cause that's horrible. Either way, you
gotta have a pretty sizey penis at that point. Yeah. Anyways, BBC. That's the broken bottle beer. Our mid tier is the canned bottle beer or the canned beer. I don't think canned bottle beer is such thing unless they made a bottle out of a can. Then so Bud Light Platinum is one of those. Anyways, those are the mid tiers. You can't really go wrong with one.
It's the hand job of beers.
Yeah, the best. It's the hand job of beers where you just have one. It's a canned beer, whatever.
It's
like you go to a guy's party, a friend's party, and he's like, "Bro, you want a beer? Sure." And he tosses you a can. He's like, "Oh, this is what you meant."
We're not that close, are we?
I guess. And you go, but then you can like chug it, like you like puncture a hole, and you go.
The white boy beer.
The white boy beer, like you don't taste it. It's just straight up drunk, and that's it.
I've never done that. I want to one day.
I haven't either.
But the third beer on our list of rating is the bottled beer, and that for people who are listening for the first season, that was originally our top rated beer. You drink a bottled beer, you feel like you've made it. You feel like how can things get any better? But they can. And what is that?
That's a draft beer. We've never rated anything draft beer yet.
Yeah.
Yet.
I think if we pull up the Allagash again.
Probably, but you never know. They probably brew it wrong now, and then you're like, fuck this shit. Canned bottle beer.
$14 a beer, they better now.
Yeah, fuck. And the fuck shit is about that is that it comes in a 4-pack, not a 6-pack. You're paying $14 for 4 beers.
Yeah. Not a 6er.
That's stupid, but I guess they know what they got. So
and then on top of that, the beers are like way smaller than a regular beer.
Yeah, it's like just a bit smaller than the.
It's like a
bottle
Modelo
beer,
kind of.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah,
but a Modelo I think is wider.
It's chunky.
Yeah,
it's not that chunky now, I guess. Anyways, draft beer is the best you can get. Everyone likes a draft beer.
And let me tell you right now, this Bex is not a draft beer.
It's not.
Well, would you like to rate it first?
You're already rating it, so go ahead.
Oh, okay. So to me, this is a canned beer. And as many of you know, for the reasons that are about to be stated, the canned beer is the worst because of Pablo. So I would rate this 4 canned beers in a 6-pack. 1 empty space because of just something's missing, literally.
Yeah.
And then Pablo. And for those of you who don't know who Pablo is, we like to think of ourselves as a green podcast.
We care about the ecosystem, especially the amount of plastic that's been polluted into our oceans. And sometimes that plastic pollution gets in the way of wildlife. And wildlife, we really mean ducks. Pablo's a duck.
And what we want is for you guys to, when next time you're drinking a beer, you're out with your friends, we're in the beach, drinking canned beers, because you don't listen to the Bronx Project podcast and you don't know that it's sacrilege.
Sacrilege indeed. Yeah.
Because if you really think about it, if you like splurge on the extra $3, got yourself a couple bottled beers, you save so many ducks.
You would save so much wildlife, so many Pablo, his wife, his daughter, his daughter, his daughter, his daughter, his son, his daughter. So
Pablo
many
had a lot of
fucking ducks, dude.
And honestly, you wanted to save yourself those $2.99, so you got a pack of canned beers.
Yeah.
And now Pablo's dead.
Fuck you guys.
And that's my rating.
So if you're not guilty, then yet. But yeah, that's your rating. I would like to rate it also. I want to rate it 2 canned beers.
It's a canned beer for you.
It's definitely a canned beer. 2 canned beers in like not even those plastics for the cans. It's 2 canned beers, but in like the 6-pack that you get bottled beers in. You get 2 canned beers. The other 2 are like a bottle of water. and then the rest of the fucking hoes are just Pablo and his sons.
Family. It's Father's Day, guys.
Yeah. It's Father's Day, guys. Give it up to Pablo. He's been fucking well.
Well, for this week, we want to run through things.
I don't like that beer.
Yeah, it's a very bad beer.
It's not the best beer.
It's not a very bad beer. What's the worst beer you've ever had?
The worst beer I've ever had in my entire life was some pumpkin spice shit that I don't remember.
I think I think we had it here. Was it on the podcast?
It's probably on the podcast, but I totally remember it. When I went to a bar in Arthur Avenue. I think you came with me.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's like 8% alcohol.
It was a big ass bottle.
Yes,
and it had like a Halloween something.
Yeah, it had a pumpkin jack-o'-lantern in the front of it. It was 8%, and like, it's a pumpkin spice. And I was like trying to experiment the pumpkin spices. This one was too spicy. This beer was just legit pumpkin spice and alcohol. That was a terrible beer. If you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, please spread the word.
My least favorite beer, I think of all time, was the Guinness Extra Stout.
Oh, it's not that bad,
bro. I don't like dark beers. You know that, like that bitter shit.
I think one dark beer that you might like is called Newcastle. Newcastle makes very good dark beer. It's you like
it. We gonna have to see about that.
Yeah. It usually comes in a keg, but you can buy it in a 6-pack also. Yeah.
Well, that'll be the beer of the week one of these weeks. Well, to start off the show, we want to talk about a couple weeks ago. We were talking about the beef between Pusha T and Drake, and not much has happened since then. But Drake released I'm Upset. And for those of you who haven't watched it, it's basically Drake like, hey guys, I know I just got thoroughly embarrassed, but do you remember Degrassi?
I know that Pusha T talked about my mother and my father and my best friend who's dying.
And my child, and the mother of my child, and my career and everything.
But remember this old fucking show I was on? Yeah.
And let me tell you, like, for those of you who listen to this podcast on a weekly basis, we thank you, by the way. We hit a new milestone for weekly listens.
Our downloads are off the roof.
It's insane.
It's good. It can be better.
Thank you. Yeah, no. We got a couple more ratings. We could always use more ratings. 5-star only. If you're that dickhead who rated us 4 stars,
we are literally. There's that one person.
There's one person who rated 4 stars.
4 stars.
The rest of them is 5 stars.
You be?
I don't know, man. If I find you though, I'll fuck you up. That's the point.
Yeah,
I'm a little on edge right now.
I know.
Fucking okay. So Drake releases this song. He released it a couple weeks ago. I think he released it the day after Duppy.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
And the response to the song was kind of lukewarm. I still don't like the song. For those of you know, I'm a huge Drake fan, but I'm objective. I try to always be objective. If Drake comes out with a bad song, I will say it's a bad song. If he makes questionable moves, I will acknowledge it.
Yeah, same.
I do not like how he handled this entire situation. I was talking to Dalia about this. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I don't know. As the way I was raised, I need a lot less than that to want to want to retaliate.
Yeah, that is very true. I think Pusha T gave Drake enough to kill him. Like, if I were Drake, I would literally like be incredibly offended.
No, this is the thing.
And come back in a hard way.
I personally, this is me, Steven Ramirez, worth negative $52.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
Not in a 9-figure role, because he's worth like 100-something million, right?
A good amount of money, yeah.
Yeah. And I personally, I am not. I don't know. I don't have a kid. Obviously, I have a mom and a dad. I have a best friend. You're not dying, thank God. That I'm
very
of.
healthy, I think.
Yeah, I think. And if any of those things get checked off, I can't fathom not wanting to either personally kill you or have someone kill. Like, you're worth 100-something million.
I'm pretty sure you can hire a hitman
like
or two.
The thing is,
Come on.
Drake, I mentioned this before, has 3 moods in his music. I'm sad. I'm the shit.
Mm-hmm.
And fuck, what was the third one?
Love.
And Battle Drake.
Okay. Battle Drake is like, I'm upset.
Yeah, and not even, because Battle Drake is always like, oh, don't push me to that mode, because I got killers. I won't personally do it because I'm not that guy, but I got people. Where are your people, my good sir?
Seriously, his people actually were.
They were in the I'm Upset video. They
chasing
doing cameos. You chasing the wrong motherfucker.
You chasing the guy that fucking shot the guy.
He shot Drake in a fucking in a show, dude.
Yeah, it's a show though, but this is real life.
Pusha T out here really de-spining motherfuckers.
Pusha T is literally, if anything, Pusha T is that guy that shot Drake in the spine because Drake didn't do shit.
This motherfucker said your mother cannot keep a man. Your father was so disappointed in you that he left you.
That is fucking crazy. I know, I heard it many times and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, but it's and the thing that stings the most out of all of this is that there's an underlying bit of truth to everything he said, and that's what would upset me the most.
Yeah, that is all facts.
So let's go over again. Your mom can't keep a man. Your dad was so embarrassed by you that he left you. You aren't really black, which, you know, I've always wondered if Drake, like, how he feels about his blackness.
Yeah,
I've always wondered that, because it's like, I'm Dominican. For those of you who don't know, I think most of you know. I struggle with my identity as a Dominican man.
I feel like a lot of Hispanics struggle with identity. Yeah.
I'm Dominican, but I'm not like the loud, boisterous Dominican.
Mm-hmm.
I've never actually, and I'm from the Bronx, which is weird. I've never in my life even catcalled a woman.
Same.
And we've talked about this on prior episodes.
Yeah.
So like, and it's like, oh, why do you sound sad that you've never catcalled a woman? I don't. It's just that, like, when these are things that are like, the Dominican man is this, and then I am on the other side,
exactly,
like completely the opposite of that.
Like, aren't I supposed to be that person?
Yeah, you kind of struggle with your identity.
Yeah,
and I often wondered if Drake struggled with his identity for that reason. Like, he says that he used to go visit his father in Memphis. I'm sure that in Toronto, in a Jewish neighborhood where he grew up, he didn't really experience life around too many other black people.
Not at all.
And so when he went to America, which is already a different culture, and he's around black people for maybe the first, second, third time in his life, I can see how he might be like, oh, like he might feel like he doesn't belong.
That's true.
I can see that.
Yeah, of course. Like, if you put me in like
a room full of Puerto Ricans,
man, if you put me in Puerto Rico, I'm like, oh,
yeah, exactly.
I'm supposed to be these people, but it's
hard.
I'm
not like that.
Yeah, I'm not like that at all. I'm exactly like you, where I'm not catcalling people. I'm not being an alcoholic, beating women. Yeah. I mean, not all of them are like that.
Yeah,
but
that's not
that is just the.
It's the expectation. It's
absolutely
the
expectation
is.
of older generations. It's, you know, it's happened. Yeah. It's happened. But I as a Puerto Rican, and I know I have a story behind this. When I started to date Daphne, and she then told her parents that she was dating me, her parents asked her, "Oh, what is he?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, he's Puerto Rican." And they were like, "Oh, yeah." Like, you know, even if she would have said, if I was Dominican, she would be like, "Ooh." But yeah, it's the same reaction. Oh, because Puerto Ricans have a very negative aspect on society. I mean, since the like the fucking 40s and 50s.
I agree with you, and it's not like I personally think that and this could just be fucking victim mentality or whatever. But I think that Dominican man is the most like looked down upon person in Latin America. Like go on Twitter. You see something like, oh, if once he say he's Puerto Rican, I stop talking. But the most that you see is Dominican men ain't shit. Dominican men this, Dominican men that, right?
Something about Dykeman, yeah.
Yeah. So I get it. I get what you're saying. But to get back to the Drake, and also to say, in my own personal life, every girl that I've ever dated, before being introduced to their parents, you get the, oh, where's he from?
Yeah.
And as soon as they find out I'm Dominican, there's always the,
it's like,
what are you doing?
What?
Then they meet me and they're like, wait, are you Dominican?
Yeah.
So
wait. You don't match any of these side effects that I've heard that Dominicans
the side effects of the Dominican man.
Yeah. Well. You're very presentable.
But to get, you have not said "Hello, kid" not once.
Not once. Where is your Heineken?
You've pronounced all your. I speak like my Spanish is very Dominican. Mm-hmm. And I'm Dominican. Like that's why I was raised around. It's just like, I don't know. But to get back to Drake,
same thing with my Spanish. I speak,
Puerto Rican Spanish.
Yeah, which is English.
Which is not. Which is not Spanish.
Which is English.
But
it's the truth.
Oh, fuck, that was so funny. But so again, a recap. Your mom can't keep a man. Your dad's so embarrassed by you that he left. You are so embarrassed by yourself that you don't act black. Yeah. That I put quotes around that because what the fuck does that even mean, right?
Yeah. I mean, Pusha T would know.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. That's a weird thing.
It's a weird thing.
And I've gotten that because I don't quote unquote act Dominican. So
yeah,
I understand.
But I feel like that's a push. Yeah. That's a push for Pusha T to push.
It's a button that Pusha T's pushing. He's like he knows that you're insecure about that. So everything that Pusha. I don't think Pusha T even cares if Drake's a deadbeat dad or not. He just knew that if he pushed that button, it would get to him. Yeah. And
it probably hurt.
Yeah. So again, your deadbeat dad, your the mother of your child is a porn star. What else?
Your mom,
your best friend is dying.
Yeah, that was a big one. I'm like, damn.
He spent a minute just going into the intricacies of the fact that your best friend is sick. Like it's
dying, and your beats are gonna be like his best friend is fucking a producer, his producer. And he's dying, so then he's like, oh, where's your music gonna go?
Yeah. And I don't know I don't consider myself an ultra violent person, or really a violent person. I think overall I'm pretty calm.
Nah, you chill.
That would get me tight. Like less has gotten me tight.
That would get anybody tight. Like,
I've never been disrespected like that in my life.
I know.
Bro. Much more insignificant disrespect has gotten me to beat the shit out of somebody. So you talking about my parents, my child, my best friend, like, you have to die. You have to. I just don't see, like, how do you stay alive?
You have to be assassinated now. Yeah. You know too much.
No, it's not even like
you told too many people about too many things that are very personal, and I'm upset.
And I understand Drake's always been the guy. He's always been he's the safe artist. He's not the guy that's gonna like go around flexing, trying to kill people, like talking about like he can get anyone murdered. Mm-hmm. But bro, there is a certain fucking thing of respect.
There's a line.
And I honestly, and I've said this before, I've been a fan of Drake since Degrassi. I found out about Drake because of Degrassi. I lost so much respect for this man over the last couple of weeks because of his lack of response. Maybe don't kill him.
I feel like listening to this podcast as we talk through it is like we're trying to give advice to Drake. Hey, kill the guy, murder the man. I just want to say that I don't condone murder. And as a podcast,
Josh,
we don't condone. But he should have murdered this guy.
Honestly, okay. The Bronx Project podcast is a politically correct podcast.
We're very PC about almost everything.
About most things.
Yeah.
But you mentioned my wife or my girl or the mother of my kid in any capacity. You mentioned my mother and my father and my best friend and the fact that he's about to die and like very sensitive material. Something has to happen. I'm not just gonna sit around here and gather up the old troops from Degrassi.
That's what happened. Moves will be moves.
Like I'm not gonna say like, my mom couldn't keep a man, but you know who else couldn't keep a man? Manny from Degrassi.
I'm gonna call everyone up.
I wonder how many of them have kept a man. I wonder if they struggle with their identity. Are any of their best friends close to death?
Right? I'm gonna forget about this entire thing and do a video with
had
the entire Degrassi.
He had the whole OVO crew chasing the wrong man. He didn't even have braids, bro. He didn't say yeah one time.
Yeah.
Not one yeah came out of that man's mouth. Are y'all chasing him?
I've been answering the phone with that. By the way, the past two. Yeah, like everybody's been calling me. I'm like, yeah. It's so fun. I love it.
No, so how do you feel? I know, like you're. I wouldn't say you're not a Drake fan, but you're not a huge Drake fan. I think you're kind of critical.
I
of
like
him.
Drake a lot. I'm always critical on every artist around there besides Frank Ocean.
And Kid Cudi. I don't think you're very critical.
No, I'm very critical of Kid Cudi. He's upset me many times.
Yeah, he has.
But Frank Ocean's never. Only when he leaves me.
Last episode, you mentioned how, what was it? Satellite Flight came out, and we thought it was gonna be Man on the Moon 3.
Yeah,
I didn't remember until like I was listening to the pod because I listen to the podcast after it comes out. I'm a weirdo, right?
I listen to it because I have to edit it. Yeah.
And then I remember us being in your car driving, talking about Man on the Moon 3, and it's yet to come.
It's yet to come, and instead we got Satellite Flight, and I was pissed as fuck. I was fucking pissed.
I feel like Kid Cudi's best move right now, after Kids See Ghosts, would be Man on the Moon 3.
Yeah, it would be, but we'll talk about that another time. But when it comes to Drake, I like Drake a lot. I like Drake a lot,
right.
Especially when he writes sensitive material, when he's rapping at his best, when he's... I loved that trap album he made. If you're reading this now, it is too late. Yeah. I love that so much, and I loved the one before that, which was
Nothing Was the Same.
Nothing Was the Same, which was my favorite album he ever came out with, and that was very, very, very sensitive. I like him a lot, but he should have really come at Pusha T's life. He had all the rights to. Jesus honestly, Christ, he had so many rights to just take the best guys he knows in the OVO crew, get Noah even though he's dying, mix something up even if he has to sample Kanye here and there, and just rap. He should have been upset about that.
Word in the street is like he fucked Kim Kardashian. I would have came with that. I would have came with everything.
Yes.
I don't. Anything to humiliate these people.
This guy has lots of money. I'm pretty sure he could just bring up some sources out of his asshole,
and I understand,
and then write about it.
In some cases, you say take the higher ground, but you take the higher ground before you release Duppy.
Yeah.
Once you release Duppy, you are in the mud, motherfucker.
That's the thing. He went out and put Duppy.
He put himself in the ring.
And he's like, all right, let's do this.
You can't then fucking bow out after throwing the first... You didn't throw the first punch, but you can't throw a punch and then be like, all right, I got my hit in. That's it. I'm leaving.
Exactly. No, but instead he got knocked the fuck out by Pusha T.
He's the guy...
And the thing is, he could have gotten up and then fought back like fucking Rocky.
And I say this, I know a lot of people disagree with me. I think Drake is a better rapper than Pusha T. Yeah. I listen to Pusha T, bro.
Opinions.
I'm a big fan of Pusha T, bro.
Yeah.
there's not like Pusha T is to me like Kendrick, where he says slick things, but Pusha T's never really been the kind of guy who has bars that like make my fucking hair stand.
Nah, he's all about just pushing dope.
It's not to say Drake does either, but Drake has some bars, bro. My point is, I think Drake would win because you wouldn't expect him to win.
I think you, as a person, as a fan, are very upset because we discussed that he might come back with a diss.
I wanted the music, man.
He was going to come at him and finish this off. And I remember telling you that I don't think so.
But the thing is, here's the thing, right? So we know that Jay Prince, apparently, he ordered or requested Drake to not respond. Or the story that's circulating now is that Kanye called Jay Prince to call Drake to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Don't know if I believe that, but let's just say that's the case. My mom tells me not to do shit all the time. You think I'll be listening? She carried me in her stomach for 9 months. I am 25 years old. Drake, you 30, 31, bro. I would have been like, Jay Prince, you've been like a father figure to me, but you're gonna have to bow out from this one. You're gonna have to allow me to handle this one as a man. I said off air, Josh and I were speaking, Earl Grey and I were speaking.
Yeah, that's my name.
And I don't see what more Pusha T could have said. Unless Drake was out here taking blackface pictures everywhere he went, unless he had like a series of blackface photos,
right?
Unless he had a series of children out there, what else could he have said?
No, I think that when Pusha T came out with the diss tape, he was like, all right, all or nothing.
Yeah,
he used everything he had, and
then Pusha T said, "It is the classic. What's the word that I'm looking for? The when you put a sheet, to blind.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the misdirection.
All right,
something like that.
So
it's a classic. Yeah. It's like, okay, you release everything in your clip, but you don't let them know you did. So what Pusha T did was, I got more in the chamber for your ass.
Okay.
But what more do you have in the chamber? Unless Drake was really doing some like fucking scumbag shit out here, and that's why he stopped, because he's like, shit, he might know about this and that.
He might know about that guy that I fucked last night.
Yeah.
Damn.
He's like, I can't let that out.
I can't let that out. Everybody thinks that I'm just gorgeous.
Yeah. And he could be gorgeous and simple man, but like maybe
he doesn't want people to know. He doesn't want people to know.
Yeah.
That's some scandalous shit.
But that's not like, unless that's the case, what more could he have said? And then you have, okay, Drake's image, blah, blah, blah. He's the nice guy of rap. That is bullshit, because Drake just got exposed, whether it was true or not, as a deadbeat dad and as a man who wears blackface. And literally like 2-3 weeks later, he is fine. Literally 2-3 weeks later, we're like, I'm upset. $500,000 on my neck.
All right, I know you're upset about this whole situation, but I have a question to ask.
Lay it on me.
What if Drake then came out tomorrow with his reply?
Then I shut up.
You shut up?
Then I shut up. If one or two things has to happen for me to shut up. Drake releases a diss track, news comes out that Pusha T is in a hospital in critical condition. One of the two.
Like no one knows who put him in the hospital, but we know. We know. we know.
Prove it.
But I personally, I think it's he can't, like, if he did come out tomorrow with this tape, I think it's just late.
Nas released Ether 6 months after
I know,
Takeover.
but it's
Come
late.
on.
It's late unless he got some
But
massive
he does.
shit.
But he does.
Like,
That's the thing.
He would have to take the OD shit on this guy's chest.
I don't think... The thing is that Drake, to me, makes good music. So if Drake is releasing a diss track, it's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he... I think he understands the severity of it. I think there's also a reason, like, he hasn't really been posting on Instagram. He's been posting on the story thing. Like, stop ducking, like, bro. Stop hiding from people. Stop hiding from the public. I don't know. it's making me look at him in a different perspective.
It's like, bro, if you're gonna
you seem scared.
That's the thing. It's not, I always said that diss tracks are good for rap. Is good for publicity. It gets the album out there. No publicity is bad publicity. I think that if he did come out with a diss track to reply to Pusha T, that'll push his album. And I feel like if he is gonna do this track, it's gonna be a few days before he releases Scorpio.
Yeah, I would hope so.
But I want to know what the fuck he's gonna talk about. Like, it has to be back to back, back to back.
But the thing is, here's the thing for me. So we know, hindsight being 2020, we know that Pusha T, like the blackface and the hiding the child thing, it was thrown out of proportion.
Yeah, of course.
He twisted the narrative.
He knew what he was doing.
Drake could do the same. Why not? Mm-hmm. Everyone has secrets, and maybe not Drake. Maybe not Pusha T. Go at Kanye. Like, cut the head of the snake off. Be like, all right, you couldn't control your puppet. Now you're getting it. I would anybody at that point. I don't know, man. At that point, anyone in that squad can get it. I'll go at the fucking Kardashians, bro.
And
anything
that's pretty
I know,
easy too.
Yeah, anything I know about anyone in that camp, y'all gonna respect me. Y'all gonna shut the fuck up. And anytime my name comes into your brain, you're gonna take it with pause. See, you're gonna be like, I know this, but do I really wanna like?
This is why we don't get mirrors on the diss track, because he'll just be like shitting on everybody's life. He can't be a rapper in some type of beef, because that beef is just gonna be blown out of proportion.
Yeah. No, and also at the crux of it all, just give me the hands, man. I'm dead ass. Just like, all right, rap aside. Meet me somewhere. I'm
upset. I'm so upset. I'm not even gonna reply back with music.
Rap aside, we're gonna do the beef. But in the beef, I'm gonna talk about how I beat your ass.
We gonna fight. I'm gonna beat your butt.
What was it from SpongeBob? What was his name? The fucking, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the bully.
Yeah, you forgot the pickles.
No, it wasn't that guy.
One, but
he's like, he's gonna kick my butt.
His father? No, he's gonna kick my butt.
Yeah, and they always pointed at the old man. What do we have to tell you, old man? Oh, I love the young people. He's gonna kick my butt.
Bro, I don't know.
That's all you need to say, man.
And I don't think that that's like hyper masculine or anything.
I mean, that's the appropriate reaction.
Maybe not killing. Maybe I'm bugging a little on the murder.
Man, you're not trickling down into the sensible thing.
But absolutely, we have to fight at the very fucking least.
Beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, at the very fucking least, we have to fight.
We have to fight now. There's gonna be a boxing match. There's gonna be like,
and Pusha T, for as good a rapper he is, he does not look like he's a threat.
No,
physically.
I mean, no one. I mean, the thing is,
some people look like they're a threat physically.
No one in the rap game besides 50 Cent looks like a threat physically. Yeah. I would say. I remember when Chris Brown was gonna fight Soulja Boy, and that shit never happened. But I remember looking at them training for the fight, and I was like, "This is funny."
I've never seen it, but I heard Chris Brown can fight.
I mean, he was in gangs for the rest, like the beginning of his fucking life.
He's also very athletic. He's a dancer.
Yeah.
So he has like agility and speed and whatever.
And then Soulja Boy came out with Soulja Boy. Tell him.
Yeah, he got the Soulja Boy Tell Him dance. That'll knock anyone out.
That's it. Much me you. That'd be like a special move. They should put him in like Street Fighter.
Yeah. Marvel vs. Capcom. You.
Shut up.
Soulja Boy
and
wins.
Then Chris Brown would just go wall to wall.
I hate you. That was a dad joke.
I know, but it's perfect.
So my point is, we are going to boycott Drake.
I'm not gonna
on this podcast.
You're gonna boycott
until he
Drake.
says some.
You're the only one who reps Drake in this fucking podcast anyway. Yeah, sure.
I was a big fan of Drake.
I was. I'll get another beer.
Pásame una cerveza, mi pan.
I got you right now.
We got another one?
Yep, I got 2 right now.
Fucking Bex.
There you go. Bex.
I'm upset.
It's a fucking beer to drink. It's a fucking beer to drink. So don't get upset.
I'm upset.
Because you can be drinking piss.
Pusha murdered Drizzy Drake can get respect.
I'm telling you, Pusha T shot Drake in the spine.
Yeah.
Made him think about Degrassi again. Put him in the wheelchair. He's immobile. He literally immobilized him.
It's whatever.
Yeah, I know.
But
and then he came out with the fucking Degrassi video. That's funny.
We're gonna use the bathroom, but before we do, a word from these sponsors. Are you tired of all the promotions and achievements? Do you feel like you just can't get a moment to yourself? Do you care too much? Have you been wondering how you're gonna achieve all the goals you've set for yourself? Well, I've got news for you. Try depression. With depression, you too can feel like nothing really matters. Depression can lead you to literally not give a shit about anything. But don't take it from me. Here's one of our brand ambassadors to tell you how depression changed his life.
Before depression, I was engaged to the love of my life and next in line for a big promotion at my job. I felt like I had so many people looking up to me. Now that I'm depressed, I feel like I can do anything I want, like nothing.
Side effects of depression include, but are not limited to, sadness, irritability, nausea, headaches, thoughts of suicide, thoughts of homicide, homicidal suicide, loss of anyone's ever loved you, and loss of self. And we're back from our urination break.
Yes, we urinate a lot, but that's good. That means
it's a beer, bro.
It's our bodies are working.
What was it called when you're drinking and like breaking the seal, right? That's what it's called.
Something about seals.
Yeah, it's like when you're drinking and like the first time you pee, that's when like you open the floodgates and then you're gonna have to pee all night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's me. That's me every time I drink beer.
I break the seal OD fast. Like I
after my first beer, I'm like, all right, bye.
Urination.
I'll be in the bathroom about a good 6 times minimum.
But yeah, definitely minimum.
Minimum 6 times. If you ever see me in a bar, I'm like mid conversation stopping that shit just to take a piss.
Earlier this week, I went to Havana with Thalia and
Havana. What Havana?
Havana Cafe is right there on Castle Hill.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah,
they got one here in Thrall's Neck.
Really?
Same place.
Oh yeah.
It's a chain now.
Yeah, they got one right there on Castle Hill, around where Christian used to live.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good, but I think 1 beer, and from that 1 beer, and I also had some water. Obviously, I went to the bathroom like 3-4 times.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm an old man. I'm washed. I'm upset.
I'm like, hold on, babe. Alright, I'm back. Hold on, babe. I'm back.
I barely even enjoyed the meal with her.
No,
but our second subject matter of the day is Father's Day.
Yeah, Father's Day.
Like I said, today is January. Today is June 17th.
Fucking hot for January.
Yeah. I miss the AC. It's fine, it's whatever.
It's not on for a reason. But yeah.
But Father's Day is a little weird. Because obviously I don't have a relationship with my father. Josh does have a relationship with his father.
Yeah, I'm not seeing him today though.
What a horrible son.
I'm not a horrible son. He blew me off. No homo.
What a
He really did. I was like, so are you coming down? He's like, no, I'm sick. I'm like, all right, you want me to come up? No, that's fine. And he texted me a few minutes ago saying, well, another Father's Day, just lonely, just another day. I'm like, motherfucker,
I could have been
there. We could have at least gone and ate a burger or some shit, had a beer or something.
Shit, Rich.
He's not. I don't think he knows how to use Spotify.
Grab his phone and
iTunes.
Leave us a review for him.
I will. He won't even listen to it. I mean, that's
bro, can you believe that Dalia still hasn't reviewed?
Why?
I don't know. She's a horrible person.
You listen to this shit. Why not just take a second and give us 5 stars? Not asking for much, but 5.
Your boyfriend's one of the hosts.
Exactly. I'm looking right at him. He does this mostly for you.
Imagine. I'll do this shit for me.
Even when you weren't there.
I'm gonna take us out the hood with this, baby.
Look at this.
As far as the eye can see.
As far as the eye can see,
This
you and
belongs to
me,
us.
we're gonna go to LA and still do this podcast called the Bronx Project Podcast in LA.
No, but speaking on Father's Day, how do you feel about the holiday?
Well, I think it's fair because mothers have Mother's Day, even though I feel like mothers are a lot more important because they actually push the baby out and have to breastfeed the baby and then cherish the baby. But then fathers also have the job of raising the baby.
Do you know what's... I agree with you, but it's wild that I think that the most well-adjusted people I know have both of their parents in their life.
Yeah, I don't know who those people are. I mean, I know a lot of people who do have both parents in their life. My brother and sisters have both parents in their life, and they fucked up.
But I mean in the sense that, like, I think Pete's always been there.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, they've always been there, but like that's another situation that only they can really relate about.
But like the people that I see that have like strong, like today, for instance, I'm scrolling through the timeline, through IG, Twitter, all this shit, and I'm seeing all these people like having great relationships with their father, and just from following them, they seem well adjusted. They seem like they have a good handle on things.
It's to have.
So I think dads are important. Is my point.
Dads are incredibly important, and that's why I said it's fair. It's fair for fathers to have a holiday based on being fathers. It's easier not to be a father. Just saying, it literally is easier not to be a father, and there have been a lot of men who have conceived babies, and you can't really call them fathers or even baby daddies
or even men
because honestly they have left their kids behind and their mother had to do the work, or sometimes the mother's not even there. But fathers, when they are there, do leave a great impact on their children, because a whole family, a fixed home is better than a broken home, and that's the honest truth.
I feel like when my father was around, for like the first, well, not the first, okay, he was in prison until I was 4. Well, he was in prison from the ages of like 6 months till when I was like 4 years old, 4 years, 6 months, whatever. Then he was around till I was 11. Then he wasn't around. Then I lived with him when I was 16. Then he wasn't around, and here we are.
Yeah. And here I mean, I have similar situations, but I actually speak to my father.
In the moments where my dad was in my life, where my mom and dad lived together, I absolutely respected my dad a little more than my mom. I think just having your father, the strong presence of your father is way different. And my mom's, my mom. My mom's not soft by any stretch of the imagination. My mom is the tough one out of my mom and my dad. Yeah,
I think most of the time is the mom who's like the one that'll beat your ass before anybody. And
I don't know, just like having my dad around, it meant something. Looking back, it meant something.
Because fathers are usually people to look up to. Mothers are always there to take care of you and get you straight, but fathers are people who are supposed to be role models. Yeah. Like any other father. Like I look up to my father in certain things, in certain ways. Not everything he does is perfect, and that's why I haven't embraced those situations. But a lot of the time that I do like him for who he is and certain traits, and I look up to him. Similar situation though. He's been in a prison, out of prison, in a prison, out of prison. Most of my high school he was in there, and that was a big crucial thing. But having a father around is always a good thing for a child to imagine.
A good father
at that.
I'll say.
And a lot of fathers like to claim they're good fathers, and sometimes they're not.
I don't know. I'm just, because obviously, okay, I was raised by my mom, and I don't really agree with the posting your mom on Father's Day thing. I don't really like that.
Why would you do that?
I don't know, like, oh, you were my mom and my dad. Like, like you
no,
were my mom.
That was just your mom.
You were my mom.
You had no dad,
and I didn't have a dad, and you did double the work. But it just feels weird to like. I think fathers do deserve, like, good fathers do deserve a day for themselves.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know. I think. How do you feel about this generation in fatherhood? Like, do you think that this generation of men will be better fathers?
I feel
to
like
their kids?
I feel like
or is it just more of the same?
no. I feel like it's changed a lot. Actually, a lot of the people that I went to high school with, they ended up having children. They're around my age and they have children, and the fathers are still there. The fathers are like legitimately great fathers, and I love to see that in my generation, being a millennial, that the fathers stick around, because kids need fathers and father figures and complete the household. You know, like you can have a mother, a strong mom, doing everything to support their kids forever, but still the house is kind of still empty in a certain way, because, and I feel like that has to do with a lot of just growing up and nature versus nurture. In nature, you're used to having that other nurturing being in life, and not only the mother but the father who shows you strength and how to be a man. Yeah. And I feel like even daughters, especially daughters, need fathers, because you ever heard the phrase, I'm daddy's girl?
Yeah.
A lot of girls are daddy's girls. My fiance, she's definitely daddy's girl. She loves the shit out of her father. Her father to her is like that equilibrium in her household, while the mother is the tough and the tough one and the pushy one.
I don't know. I'm trying to. Cause I asked you the question because I'm noticing in my timeline, but then I'm also realizing that could just be, you could post anything on the timeline. You could paint whatever picture you want to paint on the timeline.
Yes.
But it always seems like parents, like fathers that are around my age, are more involved in their kids' lives. Mm-hmm. And I like that. I love that. As you know, I've had baby fever for many years now. I don't think I'm gonna have a kid for a while. Yeah. I don't really see myself having a kid till I'm like 30 because of the finance of it. Yeah, you know, like you wanna
the finance and then the security of being in a relationship that goes into marriage.
Yeah.
Or if you believe in marriage,
absolutely. No, I do to an extent. Like I believe in marriage, but I don't think it's like needed. You know, like I had this conversation with Aliyah, like. How do I phrase it? Like, if she wanted to get married, I'm absolutely down with it, and it's not like a forcible thing. Mm-hmm. But if she did it, I'm also down with that, because like marriage is a legal thing now. Like it's not like you're not really telling me anything about my relationship.
No, marriage is a lot of the time taxes.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of taxes. But then after taxes, people think of it as like a religious thing. I like to think of marriage as more of a spiritual thing.
But you can get married religious, like I forgot, but apparently there's this way that Jews do it, that they are married by their faith, but by the state they're not, their marriage isn't recognized, and apparently that's why they can file for like
being
for
single.
They file as single, and also they file for like Medicaid and food stamps and all that shit, because they're still technically single. So apparently,
I've actually never heard of that.
Yeah.
Wow, the more you know.
The more you know. Yeah. They say that Jews in New York take up most of the welfare. Apparently, in New York. I mean, I've not done the research. This is just shit that I've heard. So don't accuse me of anti-Semitism.
I'm not sure about that.
Nah, it really is. It's something I heard.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of shit too. Definitely look into that, and then my
point is that marriage.
Correct us if you can.
Yeah, if you
we
can.
have Twitter.
I don't give a shit. Like if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and then I'll be right. No, I'm saying like everyone's wrong until they're right. You know.
True that.
But yeah, my point is marriage is. If it's good for your relationship, if it makes sense for your relationship, then yeah. If it doesn't, that's fine. Like I don't think a couple, if you guys have been together for 20 years, I don't think not being married makes the difference in your relationship. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What say you? And I know I feel like you're more of a proponent for marriage.
I agree like 120% with you. I've always been that guy. You would think that me being in a relationship for a very long time means that I'm totally with the marriage thing, but I believe in it, of course, and I believe it
and I do
more.
too.
I believe in it in a big spiritual way.
I see myself being a husband in my future.
Yes,
a husband and a father.
I think
like
that being a husband is a great thing, and being a wife should be a great thing too.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it should be. A lot of people don't like to do it because it's like, that's so religious, and like we're not very religious. You can do it spiritually. People just get married because they love each other, and because being married means like this, like that thing that's missing, that just ties the knot, and is like, bam, you guys are now one. But if people don't, there's people who don't believe in marriage, and think that there wouldn't be a difference between being married and what they have now, and I totally respect that. Yeah, sure thing.
In some
awesome.
cases,
And I know a lot of people who aren't married at all and have a beautiful family. They have kids together, and they live life on just exactly like that.
And there is no difference between that and if they were married.
And they're never getting married. None of them have a ring on. They don't have an engagement ring. Nothing. They're not married at all, and they've been happy for many, many years. A lot of times, marriage makes people upset. Marriage changes things, and I feel like that gets out of proportion. Some people have the mindset. Change their mindset of, since we're married now, a lot of things have to change. And I don't believe that. I feel like marriage shouldn't mean that everything changes. Marriage should mean that, hey, we love each other so much, this works so much, hey, why don't we just be one and then have it worth forever, just go on forever. But then I really don't know why a lot of the case marriage changes people. I think
it's just the
maybe it's the pressure, the expectation, because
especially hearing like you hear that half of marriages fail, and you hear that once you get married the fire dies, and a lot of people are going through life looking for signs of everything.
Yeah, and so I don't fucking understand
how
marriage just changes everything.
This is my theory, right? So you get married, and then you hear about your guy friend, your girlfriend who was married, and then their partner stopped doing this and that, and that was like the beginning of the end of their relationship. And then you start noticing similar things, or like you have a bad week and you're not like on your A game for that week.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh shit, is he changing on me? And that, like, little things create tension in a relationship.
That's true.
And I think just expectation, being expected to be something because you're like a husband or a wife.
That definitely that,
and lack of communication.
Yeah, lack of communication. Or there's a lot of couples who the first time they live with each other is when they get married.
Yeah.
So like they don't live with each other, but then they get married, and now they live with each other, and then now since they're like seeing each other every single itty bitty time, they're sensing that the relationship is actually different just because they're now a family in a household, and like certain things annoy the other person, and the other person doesn't like the way that other person does, and then they just become enemies.
This is why I can never imagine marrying someone, or even to a lesser extent getting into a relationship with someone without sleeping with them first.
Sleeping with them, or just like living with them.
No, we can get into a relationship without me living with you, obviously.
I'm talking about
but for marriage, yeah,
I'm talking about like
my point is that there's precursors that I think need to be taken before because it's a huge investment. I think marriage, to your point, is a huge investment, and I want to know already that we can do a long-term thing. It's different texting 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day.
Of course, I miss you, babe. I miss you.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in a week. Then I've seen you every single day for the last month.
Exactly.
You know?
And I imagine how that can change a relationship, but I can't imagine how you wouldn't want to change that if you love that person so much. And
that sounds like fun to me.
There's certain like rocky roads, there's certain bumps in the road since you're living with each other. Why wouldn't you guys work things out to make things better? I think that's the next life. That's the next level of relationship. It should be dating, then the relationship, seeing each other a lot years after, and then you move in with each other, and then that's like another step in the relationship, and then you guys figure things out about each other. like habits and stuff, and then you guys fix each other for each other, or maybe you guys are just perfect with each other. It works out. Then marriage, and I feel like that marriage, and a lot of people have that idea that's wrong. And I don't feel like that's wrong at all. Like a lot of old school people would say that no, you gotta get married and then start living with each other. Yeah. I'm like, I ain't trying to like marry her for her land.
The problem is, that's an older way of thinking, because in that age when you got married, it was all right. That's the person you picked. This is the person you spend your life with.
Yeah.
But divorce being such a thing now,
it's like a lot. It's 50%.
It's like marriage is kind of like free agency in NBA. You can leave whenever you want, you know?
That's true.
It wasn't like back in the day where Jordan was in the Bulls and you kind of just expected him to stay on the Bulls. He wasn't threatening to leave to the Miami Heat.
No, not at all.
You know, he wasn't threatening to form a super team in the Golden State Warriors.
No.
But now there's player mobility. And your wife could leave you at any time. So you have to have that foundation of like wanting to be together, knowing that you want to be together.
Yes. Completely.
Whereas back then it was like, oh, that's my person, we'll figure it out.
And the reason why I'm mentioning the whole marriage thing and living with each other, and it's a new era in marriage and in couples, and I'm mentioning that because that's why I think a lot of people our age, millennials, now that they're in this situation, that marriage is easier for them and better for them, and it's better for them to have a relationship with their children and be with each other, because of that ideology of that marriage isn't a forced thing. Marriage is all about love now. It's about wanting to be with each other and having kids because you want to have kids. And even if it is a mistake, you may say it's not a mistake, even if you did it by accident where you did have a kid, you and that other person are going to work it out. Just like you worked out living with each other.
Do you think that's a thing? No, I don't see that.
I think that's a thing. I think that a lot more people are reasonable when it comes to certain situations.
I know more people I know more single parents than parents who are together with their kids.
That's the difference between you and I. Yeah. Because you know more single parents. I know a lot of more parents who are still together.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
In your case,
in our age range,
yes,
yeah,
like probably I think one of them is like 2 years younger than us.
Bro, this is guy who I follow on, and I'm such a fucking weirdo, bro. There's this guy who I follow on IG. He and I went to high school together, and I always I'm always liking relationship pictures and shit.
Yeah,
I like seeing shit like that. Yeah, I like seeing happy couples, happy families and stuff. And I would always like the pictures of him and his family, him and his fiance or wife or whatever. And I think they broke up. Well, I know they broke. I don't know for sure, but he's been posting with another woman. And obviously there's pictures of his kid and shit. But I don't think he's with the mother of his kid anymore. And that shit got me a little annoyed. I haven't spoken to this man in years since high school. And I'm like, you just gonna leave your wife like that, bro? You can't keep hope alive. You can't keep love alive, bro.
Maybe it didn't work out. Maybe she wasn't the one. Maybe he loves his child, but
and that's what I mean, man. Like, it's really important to me that my partner and I be friends.
Yeah. Or at least be close, yeah.
No, friends.
Best friends.
I talk to Talia the way I talk to you, bro.
Proceed.
No, everything else. The way we communicate when we're hanging out is exactly how friends would communicate. It's just that there's hand holding and kissing and there's more
it's friendship plus.
Yeah, it's like a friendship.
You know, when you get an iPhone
premium.
When you get the iPhone plus.
Yeah, it's like a premium friendship. We have a premium friendship.
Yeah.
And
I see how our friendship went.
Yeah, you have the friendship light.
It's a free. You got the free trial.
You got the free.
It is a free trial because I never asked you for anything. It's a free trial, but then you got Talia, which is a friendship plus because she asks for sex.
Yeah.
And then she asks a good night out, and then kisses and hold hands.
Yeah,
it's a lot of things.
Shit,
yeah. I see how that works. That's a good analogy. I'm gonna use that.
Yeah, so that's
relationships are friendship plus. Yeah,
and that's important to me because I wanna be able to joke around with my girlfriend.
Yeah, of course.
I wanna be able to. I mean, that's important to me. I want to be friends with my kids. And that's weird because I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, it'll happen. You could. It's a new
But
era
the way,
of life.
That's just how I think. Like I think to go back to the expectations thing, I think people think of, oh, I have a girlfriend, I have to be like this with my girlfriend and like this with my friends and like this with, like I am me.
No, the same way I joke with
And
you
can
is
find
the same way with Daphne.
Yeah, you can find the person who
It's
likes
just-
you for you. And
The thing is with joking around and like being best friends with your girlfriend and being best friends with your best friend is that there's certain jokes that you and I can communicate with, and then we'll laugh about it, and it's the same jokes I'll probably say to her, and she's like, "That's not funny."
oh, I mean, but for me, like I jokingly break up with that like twice a day.
Between you and I, that's funny, but then her, she's like, "What the fuck?"
No, to her. Like we'll be talking. I'm like, all right, this relationship's over, and we'll laugh about it. And that kind of thing, I like that I can do, because in previous relationships, that kind of thing is like, no, you don't joke around about that. You saying it because you mean it. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I tell Daphne that I'm gay.
She's like, seriously?
No, she never says seriously. Like it's mostly I was like, all right, I'm gay, and she's like, stop it. Or like sometimes I'll call her and I'm like, I just want to tell you something. She's like, what? It was very important. I'm gay. And then that'll break out into a big laugh.
That's funny.
That's
I like
jokes that you must have.
You gotta have jokes
with your loved
and
ones.
I think like you and Daphne, I think, are friends because you and Daphne hang
Oh,
out.
we besties.
Like,
She
you guys-
calls me bestie.
Yeah, you guys hang out like
Yeah.
weekly. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like you don't
all the
have
time.
to. You don't have to hang out all the time.
Nah, we chill. We chill.
A lot of couples, like you hear a lot of relationships like, oh, we don't go out often. We're just home fucking.
Yeah. And then after that, you guys are just both on your phones and not doing shit.
Yeah.
No.
And like talking, like she's talking to her friends, you're talking to your friends. Like a lot of relationships are barely hanging out. It's just like I'm in a relationship to say I have someone.
Mm-hmm. Or I just like her eyes.
Yeah. Or like, yeah, I just find her very attractive, and for that reason, she's good for like my social media.
Yeah, or just my social exposure. Yeah. That is literally a lot of couples that I do see. The ones that are not married, the ones that don't have kids, the ones that are just together. They're just together because they just look good.
Yeah.
And the thing is, a relationship is not only a look. Like, it's good to look good with your significant other.
Yeah.
Like, you and Talia look good together. They look great together. If you ever look through their social media, they look great together. They're both tall.
Yeah, my girl's 5'9".
Yeah,
I'm very excited about that because like
they're both nice and tall and Hispanic, which means they get to speak Spanish
it's
to
crazy
each other.
because my girlfriend's Mexican, and you wouldn't like she's the tallest Mexican I've ever met.
5'9" is the tallest Mexican height ever.
She might have the record. We're gonna have to look into it.
We're gonna look into that. She holds the record for tallest Mexican girl.
So I think that she and I are gonna make the tallest Latino kids. I mean, there's
funny.
Carl Anthony
Imagine,
Towns. Carl Anthony Towns is 7 feet tall, bro.
Bro, imagine like that doesn't happen where like you guys are super tall, so like two positives will make a negative.
My mom is mad short. My mom is 5'1", and my dad's 5'10". So I feel like maybe my brother and my sister and I were an anomaly because my sister's also 5'9".
Yeah, she's tall too.
My brother's 6'3".
Yeah,
I'm 6'1" and a half, 6'2". Mm-hmm. In that age range, in that height range.
Yeah. No, same thing with my siblings. Brother's 6'1". My sister's tiny though. My sister's only 5'2".
Can I say that I'm so happy your brother stopped growing?
Yeah, he stopped growing.
For
like,
a quick second there, I thought he was gonna be taller than me.
I honestly thought he was gonna be taller than you too, but he just stopped.
His brother hit 6'1" at like 16 years old.
Bro, he was 16 and he was already 6 feet. I'm like, how? I
remember Josh and we had like this one summer, I think I was 18. We didn't speak that one summer.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that, yeah.
Yeah. And I went to your house after like 3 months. That's the longest Josh and I haven't spoken. It's like 3 months.
It was like a 3 months, and Steven was just going through something, so he just like chilled by himself.
Depression, my nigga.
Yeah, that's a sponsor. But yeah, the height just came out of nowhere.
And yeah, I go to your mom's house, and I'm just like, yo, that's not your brother, bro. It's not.
I mean,
And he's like,
I
"What's
would-
up, dude?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "No, get away from me."
I wouldn't think that was gonna really like if you see him, I'm like that's not your brother.
For like a month and a half, I would tell him, like, "I don't want to be next to you, man. You make me uncomfortable. You're too tall."
The thing is, like, you're like, oh, since he's tall, why aren't you tall? That is not the question you should be asking. The question is, how did he get that tall?
Yeah.
No one in my family is tall. No one.
I'm literally. I was. My brother is now the tallest person in our family tree.
Yeah. My brother is the tallest person in our family tree, too.
For reference, I've said my father's 5'9", 5'10". I don't know. He hasn't been around for me to measure him. My mom's 5'1". My grandfather's like 5'4". I mean, he's like 83, so I guess he's shrunk.
Maybe, yeah.
But he's a short man.
Yeah.
My grandma's like again maybe 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
She's also very short. My cousins, I think my tallest cousin outside of Manny, or Manny's not my cousin, but like I'm talking about in the like cousin family tree. My brother 5'3", me 5'2". After that, the tallest one is 6 feet. I mean, not 5'3", 6'3", 6'2". After that, the tallest is 6 feet tall. So Manny and I, we have the lead by a respectable margin.
It's a good
but
margin.
From where?
Exactly. And this is where I blame the milk.
McDonald's, bro.
Fucking McDonald's, and I blame the milk with the steroids and shit.
We feeding our kids McDonald's, man.
You gotta feed them milk and McDonald's.
For those of you who don't know, I've given up dairy and I've given up everything except for chicken,
This
but
nigga's
chicken
vegan.
breast.
He's vegan.
I'm
practically
I'm not
vegan.
vegan because I still eat chicken and I still eat eggs.
Chicken. You eat poultry.
Yeah, I still eat those two, but everything else is cut off. And I stopped eating dairy. One, because I feel like when I drank milk, I felt sluggish.
I'm telling you, in 3 months to a year, which is a big margin,
Yeah.
you're just gonna be vegan. You're just gonna be like a vegan, and it's gonna be so difficult to cook. Yeah. I'm like, so I cooked, I cooked steak, I cooked mashed potatoes, broccoli, all that stuff. Steven, my bad, Steven. You want these beets?
You want this asparagus?
You want this asparagus and cauliflower and
that actually sounds amazing
and shit.
And I know you'll season it well. I know you'll season it well too.
I don't wanna.
Don't make
just in spite of make your food
dry ass
vegetables and disgusting while we're eating our great steak.
Do you know some people don't season their vegetables?
Not stupid people. That's why
they just steam it. And it's just.
I steam it, but I steam it with salt.
Yeah, but you gotta salt it. I've even put garlic powder on my shits. I've put the red pepper flakes.
I don't know any
black
white people.
Pepper. Come on, guys. Do better. Be better.
Do better. Anyways, back to Father's Day.
I just don't. My point is, dads are dads, moms are moms. Obviously, there's nuance. There's same sex couples, and I don't know. I'm not in a same sex couple, so I don't know what the dynamic is there.
I think.
My point is, I think kids need two parents.
I agree with you, and I think that the future of Father's Day is going to be very important. I feel like it'll get. I
hope so.
Before it wasn't sometimes I just get my dad a card, but my mom's Mother's Day would come buy her flowers and a whole bunch of shit.
My point is,
I feel like in the future, Father's Day is just gonna be a big deal.
I just hope fathers step their shit up,
and then it's gonna change completely. There's just gonna be something called Parents' Day. Because of same sex marriages and stuff, which is very respectable. I think there should be just a Parents' Day.
Parents' Day sounds
everybody
good.
should just gift their parents at the same fucking time.
And I know there's gonna be outrage for that, but there's it's just a word. That's why I said
who's gonna get outraged? The alt-right?
The alt-right and just fucking men everywhere.
Donald Trump is gonna be fathers should be appreciated, and then he's not even a father.
They're trying to emasculate us. They're doing away with masculinity. Blah, blah, blah. I see that on Twitter all the time.
They'll die in 20 years.
But it's just no, that's fine. I think it's just a word. Parents.
Yeah.
It's respectful towards
same sex
couples where it's two women.
Yeah, or two men.
Or two men.
Or two dogs.
Don't say that because some people.
Two cats, two gerbils.
I mean,
they can be fucking parents too.
No, they can.
They could.
Like,
have you ever seen
like
a hamster give birth and then the father cry?
I've never seen an animal give birth actually.
And then and a hamster like hold his baby.
I've never seen that.
I have.
Never in my life.
Many times. You might want to close the door. I'll talk to you later, buddy.
I've never in my life seen an animal give birth. Have you ever killed an animal?
Yes, but we'll talk about that another time.
I feel like we always say that and we never do. I still never gave my flashlight story.
We'll talk about it another time.
Someone remind me about the pod.
I'll write it down somewhere.
The flashlight. But until then, this is the Bronx Project Podcast.
Okay.
I'm your host Miraz,
and I'm your host Earl Grey.
And happy Father's Day to the fathers who aren't deadbeats.
Happy Father's Day.